This is Ghost Boy back with 10 more horror movies to get you into the Halloween spirit. After I did my first video, I realized there was more movies I wanted to talk about, so I decided to make part 2. Same rules as last time, no animated movies are allowed on this list since I'm going to make a separate video for that. Most of these movies are rated R, so no family-friendly movies are on this list either. Also, none of these movies are in any kind of order from best to worst, but number 1 is definitely my favorite. With all that out of the way, let's begin our list. Paranormal Activity 4. A suburban family witnesses strange events in their neighborhood after a woman and a mysterious child move in next door. Now, even though this isn't one of my favorites in the Paranormal Activity series, I still really enjoy it, especially since it takes place on and around Halloween. I always remember when I first watched this, I was so excited because the movie starts on Halloween with the family trick-or-treating. I love Paranormal Activity and I love Halloween, so this is a great choice for the spooky season. Haunt. On Halloween, a group of friends want to do something scary, so they go to a haunted house attraction, but once inside they realize they can't leave and the people working there aren't what they seem. The night turns deadly as they come to the horrifying realization that some nightmares are real. I think this movie is a lot like the Saw franchise, but it takes place in a haunted house on Halloween. I can't believe I hadn't heard of it until recently. It was a nice surprise. Fun, gory, and very scary. I definitely don't want to go to a haunted house after watching this. Candy Corn. It's Halloween weekend and a group of bullies beat up an outcast working at the circus, but they take things too far and accidentally end up killing him. The ringleader of the circus uses black magic and resurrects him from the dead, and now he's back to get revenge on the people who killed him. I know the description sounds a little cliche, but this movie is actually pretty unique and original. All the kills in this movie are very brutal and violent. I think I'm one of the few people who actually like candy corn, so when I heard about this movie I had to watch it. And if you're wondering why this movie is called Candy Corn, it's because the guy who gets killed is constantly eating candy corn, and whenever someone gets murdered, the police find candy corn at the crime scene. The cinematography in this movie is definitely very Halloween-y. The whole movie has that Halloween vibe to it. 1031. Yet again, another Halloween anthology. Those are my favorites. This one is very indie and kinda low budget. Still pretty good. There's 5 stories, and I like all of them, but one of them was pretty boring and dragged on a little too long. 2 kids are watching a Halloween marathon on TV, and it's hosted by the Queen of Screams, which is basically a knockoff Elvira. They don't even try to hide the fact that they are copying Elvira. She's literally wearing the same outfit and has long black hair. But anyways, if you like Trick or Treat, Bad Candy, or All Hallows Eve, I think you'll definitely like this movie. Some of the stories are better than others, but I still really enjoyed it and recommend it if you love Halloween-themed horror anthologies like I do. Terrifier. In my last video, I talked about the movie All Hallows Eve. Well, this movie is a spin-off of that, since everybody loved Art the Clown so much, he's back in his very own feature-length film. On Halloween night, 2 friends are stalked by a creepy clown and things get very, very violent. Now I will say this is probably the most fucked up movie I've ever seen, and I mean that as a compliment. I know some people might call me chicken for saying that, but this movie is extremely violent, and I was very shocked the first time I watched it. I heard some people say they liked it more after watching it for a second time, and I definitely did as well, after already knowing how violent it was. Terrifier 2 is coming out this October, and I can't wait. It looks amazing. The Barn. In 1989, 2 friends, Sam and Josh, want to do something special on Halloween before they graduate from high school. They decide to go to a rock concert, but they take a detour that results in them discovering a deserted barn. But unknowingly to them, the barn that they've come across is cursed, and soon the teens find themselves under attack by 3 monsters. A zombie miner, a scarecrow with candy corn teeth, and a pumpkin-headed demon. Now the group of friends must work together and try to send these monsters back to hell. This movie came out in 2016, but when I first watched it, I had no idea. I thought it came out in the 80s, because this whole movie looks and feels like a cheesy 80s horror movie. From the acting, the story, the dialogue, this movie is a throwback to the 80s and a love letter to old school horror movies. This movie is so much fun and absolutely perfect for Halloween. All the monsters are so badass and fit the Halloween vibe so well. I knew I would love it once I saw the trailer, and it did not disappoint. This is definitely a new Halloween classic that I will watch every year. The Terror of Hallows' Eve. This is a pretty interesting movie. It kind of reminded me of Death Note and The Babysitter. On Halloween, after a teenager is beaten badly by some local bullies, he's angry and starts carving a pumpkin aggressively. The blood from his face drips into the pumpkin as he wishes he could get revenge on the people who hurt him. Suddenly, just then, an elf-like creature appears and he wants to help make his wish come true. But of course things take a turn for the worse and get violent. Now I understand by the description and poster of this movie it probably looks very cheesy, but I was really surprised by how great the monster designs were and the creature effects are amazing. The movie is pretty simple, but the execution is great. Trick. On Halloween night 2015, local teenager Patrick, nicknamed Trick, massacred his classmates at a costume party. After being arrested, he managed to escape police custody, but not before being shot multiple times. Everyone believes Trick must be dead, but when a masked killer reappears the following Halloween and every Halloween after that, they realize the nightmare is not over. I know this movie sounds like it's ripping off John Carpenter's Halloween, but it's really nothing like that movie. This is a slasher, but it's also a mystery thriller about a detective trying to figure out if the killer is really still alive and trying to track him down. One thing I liked about this movie is the killer moves so fast. Usually in slasher movies the killers are pretty slow, but this one seemed like a ninja or something. Also, something that was pretty cool, the masks in this movie were badass. In newer slasher movies, the masks that the killers wear usually aren't great, but these are creepy and awesome. Also, the pacing in this movie was really good, and again, surprisingly not slow. It starts with a ton of people getting murdered, and I was thinking, okay, now it's going to be slow for a while. But nope. Right when you think it's going to slow down, another scene happens where tons of people get stabbed. I was on the edge of my seat waiting to find out the mystery of the killer in this movie. It was a very refreshing slasher movie, and I loved it even more since the whole movie takes place around Halloween. Halloween Kills. Of course, I had to put one of the movies from the Halloween franchise on this list. I know a lot of people hate this movie and some really like it. I understand both points of view. I can definitely understand people not enjoying it since Laurie is in the hospital for the entire movie. But this movie doesn't waste any time. Like in Halloween 2018, I felt the first 40 minutes or so were pretty slow, but this movie gets straight into it. Michael kills more people in the opening scene of this movie than he did in the entirety of Halloween 1978. He just looks so badass coming out of the fire, and the kills are so brutal and hardcore. I know this movie isn't perfect, but I still really enjoy it and think it's a great movie to watch around Halloween. Before I get to number 1 on this list, I want to talk about an honorable mention. Scream Resurrection. Some people refer to this as Scream Season 3, but let me explain. So Scream got turned into a TV series on MTV, but they changed a lot of things from the movies. The town is called Lakewood instead of Woodsboro. The killer is called the Lakewood Slasher instead of Ghostface, and Ghostface has a new mask and a new voice. The show aired for 2 seasons on MTV. Then Season 3 aired on VH1, but it always bothered me that they called it Season 3 because it doesn't have any of the same characters or actors. It's a brand new story, a different town, and Ghostface is back in the iconic mask. They actually call him Ghostface, and they even got Roger L. Jackson, the original voice of Ghostface from all the movies, to come back and do the voice again. So even though some people call this Scream Season 3, the people who made it named it Scream Resurrection so that people could tell it apart from the MTV Scream TV series. Now why is this on the list? Because the whole thing takes place on and around Halloween. There's flashbacks to when the characters were young trick-or-treating, they dress up on Halloween as adults, they go to a costume party. That's the reason I love this so much, because we get to see a Scream movie set on Halloween. We get to see Ghostface kill people on Halloween. Michael Myers shouldn't be the only horror character who gets to kill people on Halloween. Also in this, we find out the origin behind the iconic Ghostface mask. Someone was actually wearing it on Halloween as part of their costume and got murdered, and now when the killer comes back in present day, he wears the same mask. Something else pretty cool. In the original Scream movie, all the characters are watching John Carpenter's Halloween, and in this, the updated version of Scream, one of the characters is watching Rob Zombie's Halloween. Also, in Halloween H2O, the characters are watching Scream 2, so I always thought that was pretty cool. People consider this to be a TV show, but it aired 2 episodes a night for 3 nights, so I pretty much consider it to be one long movie. If you want to see Ghostface killing people around Halloween, I definitely recommend you check out Scream Resurrection, or if you want to call it a TV show, Scream Season 3. And now, the number 1 movie on my list, Dark Shadows. My all-time favorite Tim Burton movie. I know this movie is PG-13 and isn't really a very scary horror movie, but I don't think it's very family-friendly either, since there's some sexual scenes and inappropriate jokes. I think this movie is very underrated and underappreciated. It didn't do well in theaters, but I think that's because it was released in May. I don't know why they didn't release it closer to Halloween, since the whole movie takes place in October. It has an all-star cast, plus Alice Cooper is in this movie. How cool is that? The soundtrack and cinematography is beautiful. Chloe Grace Moretz is in this movie, and her room is so awesome. I always wanted to have her room, and my mom surprised me once when I was in the hospital, and when I came back home, she had redesigned my whole room to look like the room from this movie. Shout out to her. Thank you, Mom, you're the best. But anyways, I highly recommend this movie, and I can't express enough how much I love it. There's vampires, witches, ghosts, and werewolves. It's absolutely perfect to watch around Halloween. But anyways, that's the end of my list. Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment below and let me know if you agree with my list or if there's movies that you feel like I should have put on the list. I'll be uploading more Halloween related videos soon, and I also released a Halloween horror movie themed album. Links will be in the description for that. Thank you so much for watching, and happy Halloween.
I'm a killing machine, stalking the teens. I will make you scream. I'm the king of Halloween. I don't even make a sound, I'm quiet. I don't even say a word, I'm silent. You already know I'm violent. The whole town is afraid, so they started a riot, chanting evil dash tonight, yeah right. You really aren't that bright. Tonight is the night I will end your fucking life. You say evil dies tonight, but that's not the case. You say evil dies tonight, but you made a mistake. Cause you should have killed me when you had the chance. You can try to stop me, but I know you can't. I'm a psycho, you can't kill me with fire. Bitch, I'm Michael fucking Myers. I'm a killer, I'm gonna fucking kill her. I'll stab you in the liver and make you fucking quiver like I'm Jack the Ripper, Jack the Rapper, looking dapper. Got that swagger, doesn't matter, mirror shatter, stab you with a dagger. I will slaughter you and I'll kill your daughter too. I'll beat you black and blue, ain't a damn thing you can do. Some nightmares are better left unseen. My life is like a horror movie on the big screen. I'm a killing machine, stalking the teens. I will make you scream. I'm the king of Halloween. I'm a psycho, you can't kill me with fire. Bitch, I'm Michael fucking Myers.